It's time for a heart-to-heart with Mrs. Hardy. Hey Eagles, I wanted to stop in today and talk to you about something that has really been on my heart, and it has been brought to my attention by a lot of other teachers and students in the school, that this is something that we need to talk about. I'd like to start this conversation by telling you how amazing you are and how wonderful that you are, because you really are. But when we hear words come out of your mouth that are not kind and that are inappropriate at school, it's something that is very concerning. And it is something that we need to talk about. So that is what we are going to be talking about today.
You know what bad words are?
Oh, yeah. I know one that's a really bad word, but I don't really want to say it right now.
Now, Miss Hardy knows that you hear words everywhere. You hear words from your friends, your teachers. You hear words when you're out and about in the community at the grocery store. You hear words on TV and video games and movies and YouTube and all kinds of places. We hear words, and you process those words and you learn new words every day. But words have a lot of power. Words have the power to make us feel amazing, like good job and I love you always feels good. So do words and phrases like, hey, I saved you a seat. That one feels good too. But words also have the power to tear us down and make us sad. Words like, you can't play with us. Words like, you're not good enough, or go away. And also words that we consider to be bad words. Sometimes we call those potty words. Sometimes we call them cuss words. But these are words that we consider bad and certainly inappropriate for school. So what makes a word inappropriate? Well, we know that words that are cuss words, curse words, or are considered swear words are definitely inappropriate. But also words that talk about certain body parts, those we know are inappropriate. Not words like elbow, but when we talk about our private parts at school, that's inappropriate. In addition, anything that makes people feel uncomfortable. So when you are talking to people, think about your words. And if you can think to yourself, this would make somebody feel uncomfortable, then it's probably inappropriate. And sometimes it's hard to determine what is appropriate for school, because the things that are appropriate at home are sometimes not appropriate at school. For example, you may have brothers and sisters that you wrestle with, and that's so fun, and maybe that's something you do at home, but we can't put hands on people at school. Or maybe you can run down the hallway at your house. Maybe that's something that your parents or guardians allow you to do, but you can't do that at school. Let's look at a situation from my friend Royce Bedoyce. Royce was watching a movie and he overheard some words that were not really appropriate for kids to use. And he ended up using them at school and then later using them in a game when he got upset. So follow along with me while you see an example of Royce Bedoyce hearing a word from a movie that was not appropriate and then using it at school and how that goes.
Remember the movie we watched last week, Royce Bedoyce? What did you guys watch? We can't tell you. It's a grown-up movie and they use bad words. It's the new scary movie with a monster in it. Why did you tell them, Maker? What if they tell the teacher and the teacher tells my parents? Grr, so stupid. Uh-oh, that is not a nice word. Ooh, Royce Bedoyce, that's a bad word to use on people. That's not nice. You're starting to talk like the people in that movie. This is not a happy conversation. Let's play something instead. Let's do boys against girls, but there's 3 of you and only 2 of us. How are they going to solve that? Flora can be on your team since we beat you guys last time. Pass the ball to me, Flora. Flora, don't you know how to pass the ball? You're bad at this. Ugh. Beep, beep, beep. You're using bad words again, Royce Bedoys. I don't want to play anymore.
Chances are you've been in a situation like we just saw Royce Bedoys in. Chances are you've either heard a word somewhere that was inappropriate and you've used it at school, and chances are you've heard someone say a word that was inappropriate at school. Either way, you've probably been involved or have a background of a situation like we just saw with Royce Bedoys. But here's the deal, guys. We know that you know words. We know that you're exposed to all kinds of words. But you have to understand what words are appropriate for school and what words are not appropriate for school. When we're having our day at school and trying to learn and grow together, we sometimes hear words that are inappropriate. Sometimes kids do it to get a laugh. They think it's so funny or they like the attention they get. Sometimes people get upset and they say a bad word by mistake and they immediately regret it. But either way, at school, this is not the time to hear or say bad words.
No more saying cuss words. It is not good. No more saying cuss words, guys. It's inappropriate.
If you're sitting there right now in class and you're thinking to yourself, that's me. I cuss. I say bad words. And I know that they make me look bad, and I know that they make me feel uncomfortable. Here's the deal. You can stop.
Hi, I'm Faye Day Moichant from Social Skills, here with you to talk about how to stop cursing. This is a really difficult one for so many people because cursing has become so ingrained in our language, but it's really important to stop because cursing gives off a really bad first impression, particularly when you're meeting someone. So first things first, you need to figure out a way to understand and recognize how often you are cursing. The other thing is that you can come up with a few words to replace those ill-fated words that you're using so often. Replacement words that I use in my everyday language are sugar, fudge, holy crud, and things of that nature. It just helps remove those words from your everyday language. So you can come up with your own creative words to use as replacements until you can start eradicating these words from your everyday language.
One thing that Miss Hardy says when I forget something or I drop something is I will say, "Oh, pickles." That's something that I say. That's a replacement phrase that I use instead of choosing to say a bad word or a word that's inappropriate or makes somebody feel uncomfortable, because I would never want to do that. So you can come up with your own thing that you want to say, or you're more than welcome to borrow pickles from me. Oh, pickles. And here's the other thing. You are not the youngest kids in the school anymore. So you need to be good role models because little ears are listening. You need to make sure that you're making positive choices with your words because you are an eagle and eagles soar. Let's go back to Royce Bedoys because he found himself in a situation where he had little ears listening to him and it didn't go very well.
Later that day. This game is fun, huh, Lois? Yeah, this is my favorite game. Craig, get that coin in that game. How come you didn't get the coin? We needed it. We were talking and I missed it. It's okay, Lois. It's not okay. Beep, beep. Lois, that's a bad word. Where did you learn that from? I heard you say it. Now why didn't you get that coin, Royce Bedoys? Beep. You learned the bad word from me? Lois, I heard you use bad words. Where did you learn it from? Uh-oh, I think they're in trouble.
Don't be like Royce Bedoya. Make a good choice. Choose your words carefully, Eagles, because whether you realize it or not, we hear you. And again, Eagles, we know that you hear words every day. You're going to maybe hear some things that are inappropriate on a movie, and you're going to maybe hear some things that are inappropriate on a video game. That's life. But just don't bring it to school. When you come to school, we want you to come to learn and be positive, and it is time to make sure that you are making appropriate choices when you enter our school building. You are an Eagle, and the expectation is that you will represent Camden Elementary with pride. You are an ambassador of Camden, which means that you make good choices on Camden's behalf. We love you, Eagles, and we expect great things from our Eagles. So, moving forward, now that we've had this conversation, if we hear things that are inappropriate at school, you will be held accountable. So, make good choices and be the amazing Eagles that we know you can be.